the cowboy is also so hot. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm Kirsty and I like to talk all things books. For today's video, I really wanted to talk about my auto-buy authors. So these are the authors that as soon as I see they have a new release book out, I am snatching that up. I am buying it because I absolutely love the stories they've told previously, and just their writing is beautiful to me. I have 5 authors to talk about today, so let's get straight into it. Grab me a cup of tea and let's go. Now, some of these authors I'm going to talk about today are relatively new to me, so I've only read one of their works, or I have some that are not so new to me and that I have been sticking with their books for quite a few years. You will probably be able to guess one author on this list who I won't talk too much about, and I will link a separate video to them as I have a dedicated video. Kicking straight off, I have S.T. Gibson. So my introduction to S.T. Gibson was A Dowry of Blood. This follows Constata, who is actually the bride of Dracula, and it follows her through letters that she is writing to Dracula himself, and how their relationship turns very sour, and how new vampires are brought into their relationship, which causes quite a lot of conflict. I fell instantly in love with her writing. It's very beautiful and almost poetic at times. I've actually recommended this book to literally everybody. Everybody that I know is a big reader, even if they're not into like dark romance or gothic or horror. I recommended them this book and they have also fell in love with it. And I think that speaks volumes to how beautiful S.T. Gibson writing is, that she is able to draw in like new audiences and people who aren't massive readers of like a dark gothic novel really have fell in love with this. She mixes dark gothic romance with vampire lore so effortlessly, and they are 2 genres and 2 topics that I feel go perfectly and so hand in hand, and them being 2 of my main like obsessions within reading, I knew I was gonna fall in love with this book before even picking it up. The next book on my radar of S.T. Gibson's is An Education in Malice, and I cannot wait to pick that one up. The next author that I just want to briefly skim over, and is no surprise, this is no shock, it is Stephen King. I will link a video for you that I have gone over my top 5 reads of his, and I go into so much in-depth conversation about why I love his writing, so I will link that for you and you can just see why I love him, and probably why a vast majority of people do love his writing. The third author I want to touch on is Christina Henry. Now, she is an author that I have been in love with for years. So my introduction to Christina Henry was Alice, and this was a gift from my sister because I am a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. It's my favourite Disney film. I have a tattoo of her on the back of my arm, and I'm just a big Disney lover in general. So this one I was really excited to pick up, as it is a retelling of the classic Alice in Wonderland. But what I wasn't expecting was for it to be so dark and disturbing. It is a gruesome story. It is definitely not aimed at a YA audience. It is very much aimed at adults. There is a lot of trigger warnings in this. If you like retellings to be close to the original, these books won't be for you, because they are a complete flip. These are nothing like the original stories. The only similarities between the original and the retellings are the characters that we are very familiar with. She's extremely creative in weaving in the characters that we know and love, but she brings out probably the worst characteristics. These retellings are dark, emotional, but there's also a glimpse of hope within each of them. I've only read Alice and the Red Queen of the retellings, but I've also read The Ghost Tree by her, which isn't a retelling at all, it's one of her original stories. And again, really enjoyed it, very immersive. You are introduced to a new world with supernatural elements. I haven't picked up any of her books for a few years now. As being introduced to BookTok, you have so many new books thrown at you daily, but I definitely want to step back and revisit some of my old favourite authors and catch up on the works that they've released. One of hers that I am very eager to pick up next is The Lost Boys. Obviously that will be a Peter Pan retelling, but I'm pretty sure she has a new release coming out this year, like towards the end of this year. I think the cover has just been revealed on Instagram, so I'm sure it's coming out very, very soon. And again, I'm really excited, and I definitely want to be revisiting Christina Henry in this year's books. The fourth author I want to touch on is Lila Sage. She is the author of the Rebel Blue Ranch series, which I have read the first 3 books. So I've got Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, and Lost and Lassoed. The 4th one came out 2 days ago, which is Wild and Wrangled, and you best believe I'm going to be picking that one up immediately. I'm surprised I didn't have it on pre-order, to be honest. But this was one of the first romance books that I really fell in love with and rated a 5-star in Done and Dusted. I found her writing really descriptive and immersive, where I felt like I was actually living on the ranch she described. I could picture it so clearly in my mind that it really just brought the book to life for me. Her descriptions were just unlike any other I've read in romance book. It was also my first cowboy romance, so my first introduction to that genre, and it has made me fall in love with the romance genre all over again. And it's one where I'm actually excited to pick up the next one. Series for me can grow not boring, but less exciting the longer they go on. So for her to bring out a 4th book that I'm still really excited for, it speaks volumes to how much I really enjoyed the series. And the characters as well, they're such diverse characters in like their emotions and how they present themselves, that you really get to connect with some, especially Wes in the 2nd book. I really connected with him, and yeah, all the cowboys also so hot. How she describes the cowboys is just amazing. And last but certainly not least, I have a horror author. I have Nick Roberts. He is a very, very new author that I have added to the auto-buy list simply for his book, The Exorcist House. I have spoken about this before, and I have no hesitations to speak about him again. I will not be bored of talking about Nick Roberts' book, The Exorcist House. It's the only one I've read, but best believe I am picking up every single book that he's already written and every single book that he will write, because this horror book was one that truly terrified me, and one that I can still remember all the details from, which is a rarity. Sometimes I pick up a book, absolutely love it, put it down, and 2 weeks later I can't name a single character, I can't even remember majority of what happened. But this horror is one that has stuck with me and that will stick with me. His in-depth descriptions, his body horror wasn't too gruesome to make me feel too sick, but it was gruesome enough to create a crystal clear image in my mind. The descriptions of the demons, or the demon, shall I say, is ingrained into my soul, that he's one of these characters that if I saw in a film, I'd be truly terrified and will not watch that film again. So a character that I instantly get reminded of is Valak from the Conjuring series, the nun. She truly, truly terrifies me, and this is the only comparison that I can make from the demon in The Exorcist House. He's not even a nun or anything like that. I just get the same gut feeling of terror whenever I think of this character. And I cannot wait to pick up Genesis, which is the second book to Exorcist House, and also Mean Spirited by Nick Roberts. That is another one that I've seen raved about throughout TikTok, and I'm so excited to delve into more of his works, because I know I'm in for a really crazy ride. And being a horror lover, I just want to be terrified, and so many authors get close to it but they never just quite hit the mark. So I am ready for more Nick Roberts, and I welcome them with open arms. I don't have too many authors. I feel like I'm very picky and very selective with who I decide that I want to keep buying everything that they write, because some authors where I've read multiple of their works, not every single one has hit the mark, whereas these authors, I know I've only read one book of S.T. Gibson's and Nick Roberts, but with those two authors I felt a real connection to their writing and just obsessed with everything about it. So I know when I pick up more of their works, I'm most likely going to really thoroughly enjoy them, like Christina Henry's and Stephen King's and Lila Sage. Picked up multiple of their works, and every time they've really hit the mark. Stephen King, yes, he's an author for me, but it's not necessarily that he's hit the mark every time. I just absolutely just love his writing. Just some of the stories haven't been quite impactful as others. But I would love to add more authors to my lists, and hopefully throughout my reading journey there will be a long list of authors that I auto buy. I have authors obviously that I do really enjoy, but not quite as impactful. So they were my authors. Please let me know your authors in the comments if we have any in common, or even going off my list of authors I've mentioned, you think I might enjoy a particular author. Let me know in the comments and leave some recommendations. Let's expand our TBRs together and create a never-ending list. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and catch me over on my other socials. I'm active daily over on TikTok and quite frequently over on Instagram, mainly on the stories. But if you would like to see more from me in between my YouTube videos, you know where to find me. Also, give me a follow on Goodreads and you can see on the daily my reading updates and what I'm getting up to. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully at this point I'll have a weekly vlog up by now, so that's exciting. See you next time.